Watch the power of lighting. Look at that. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't already know me, or for those of you who are on my channel for the first time, hi, my name is Yasmin. I made this video around 4 or 5 years ago now, and people are still watching it to this day. But since I've been living in Montreal for a while, I can confidently say I'm a local. It's time to give you guys some updated advice. I put together 15 things you should know if you're moving to Montreal. And I think whether you're a student, whether you're coming from work, if you're coming with your family, I think these tips can apply to everyone. Number 1. French does matter. So this really depends on where you're living. Like if you're in the city or close to downtown, this is where all the international students are, all the unis, everyone's from everywhere. So almost everyone is bilingual, and you will 100% be more than okay and will get by with just English. However, if you're planning on actually building a life here and integrating into the culture, then the French really does matter. For example, in your career, it's really difficult to get a good job or advance in your career if you don't speak French, because by law, business should be conducted in French. So there really are limitations. Aside from that, anywhere that you go outside the city, you're gonna need the French, because a lot of people actually don't speak English, and it's a common mistake because we're in Canada and Canada's English speaking, but that's not true because we're in Quebec, and in Quebec people speak French. So it's fine if you come here and you don't speak French, but it does go a long way because people are nicer, service gets done quicker. Also, it's really great for the social integration. Like for me, it's my first year actually making an effort and being in these conversations and trying to understand what people say, and it feels good to be part of something that I couldn't be part of before, you know. But anyways, no stress about that at all. Like there's so many programs, so many ways for you to learn French when you get here, especially if you're international, like you're not a Canadian citizen. There are governmental programs where the government will pay you to learn French. For me personally, I did an intensive beginners course at McGill, and yeah, I'm not fluent, but I can get by. Number 2, the system is very, very bureaucratic. What's nice about something that's so systematic is that things do get done, but I really do want to mention that dealing with this bureaucracy can be super frustrating. Like when it comes to getting your driver's license, or getting a family doctor, or getting your insurance, or renewing your passport, like everything takes forever. Like my sister, it took her 5 years to be able to get a family doctor, and apparently that's not bad. The reason that I'm mentioning this is because at the time when I moved here, it was my first time moving out ever, so there were all these new responsibilities that I hadn't ever dealt with before, and it just happens to be really difficult when you're here. I would call my parents and cry. Like honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Like now I call them points of character development. It's not that deep, but if you're young and you're doing this for the first time, don't be surprised. Number 3, you're gonna have a culturally rich experience. The diversity here is very real. Like that's what gives the city its liveliness, its vibrance. You see it in the food, the art, the culture. That's the reason that I find it really easy to meet people and to make friends here, because generally people are very accepting of each other. Like I feel like Montreal's a little international hub. I really think that was one of my favorite parts of uni. Like coming here to get educated wasn't just about getting a degree from McGill. It's coming to a new place and being exposed to new people, new ways of life. It's also a really great place to practice your open-mindedness, and I think that's really important because that's what facilitates dialogue. That's how we learn and grow as people in society. That's how we co-create together. Anyways, the political identity in Quebec is very distinct from the rest of Canada. So that's another thing that makes it culturally rich. Like you have this blend of North American but also French culture. For me personally, like I really love that in the city, and when you get here, you will see it's reflected in Montreal's artistic expression. Number 4, we don't like chains here. We don't have Taco Bell, we don't have Chipotle. Like it's not really our vibe. I don't want to say something wrong. Like I don't know if it's the French thing, like the fact that Quebec is already different, but everyone here loves local. We'll shop at local farmers markets, we'll drink at local coffee shops, we'll eat at local burger joints. There's a lot of small local family businesses that have been here for generations. Like you feel how rich the city is in history. Anyways, Number 5, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of the day-to-day vibe. I love and appreciate this about Montreal so much, that it's really about the simple living here. Like, yeah, it's busy, but we're not about the hustle and bustle, you know? People here, they chill at the park, they read, they do yoga, they go to cafes, maybe we go to a farmer's market, maybe we go to brunch. Brunch is really big here. Every summer they close down the streets in downtown. People literally just chill outside and like play music. It's very chill, but in the best way, because it still is busy, but not the New York type of busy where it's like, oh, okay, I'm overwhelmed, I'm over it. Number 6, there are so many ways to have fun. In my last video that I did about moving to Montreal, I noticed that I was talking about, you know, the nightlife here is huge and there's always something going on and the city is so lively, people are out and about. Like, okay, sure, that's true, but that was just the 17-year-old talking. I do want to emphasize that that is definitely not the only way to have fun. Like, me personally, I'm not someone who goes out just because like I get tired. Like, it's not really my vibe. Most of the time if I'm going out, I go for an hour and that's more than enough. So to all the people who commented and asked, are there other ways to have fun if you don't like to party? 100% yes. Again, Montreal is full of all kinds of people from all around the world. People are not afraid to be themselves, so you will definitely find your crowd. Let me give you guys an example. Today is October 1st and I planned my bucket list. That sounds so silly coming from a 22-year-old. But I planned my bucket list for fall. I want to go apple picking. I want to go to those candlelit concerts and like get dressed up really fancy. I want to go to the reservoir and feed the animals. I want to go to the science museum. Speaking of, there's always something artistic happening. Like, just like try to keep up on the blogs and the Insta pages. Number 7, Montreal is a really great place to network. I feel it's so normal to find workshops or webinars or seminars online and sign up and just go. For me, I started getting into it because of uni. Naturally, I wanted to network and there were already always events happening with alumni and stuff like that. But aside from that, there's always something happening in the city and a lot of young people do come here to work. So again, there is that market where people do want to network. I do want to mention though that right now, at this moment, the job market sucks unless you're in healthcare, because there's actually a shortage and healthcare workers are always in demand. Speaking of healthcare, number 8, the healthcare system here is really difficult to navigate. It's not like you get a rash and you can go to a dermatologist. No, you have to go to a family doctor first and then she'll refer you to a specialist. So it's just a whole extra step that you have to take for absolutely no reason. Number 2, if you go to the ER, make sure you have a hospital bag with you, because you're gonna be there for at least 6 to 8 hours before someone sees you. I don't want to speak for everyone, but every single time, that's been my experience. Moving on. Number 9, biking will really my friends are gonna laugh at me, but biking will seriously help you fall in love with the city. Like, for me personally, sure, I don't mind working. I don't mind walking or taking the metro, but I will always choose biking over that if I could. I will actually bike anywhere. Like, I will be going to the nicest, fanciest place and on the highest heels, and I will still be biking there because it's just so liberating. It's so freeing. And I live in the city, so if I was driving, it would actually take me forever to get to places, but biking is too easy. And also there are bike stations, like there's the Bixby stations everywhere. So I don't even have to have my own bike or take care about parking it or any of the hassle. Like, it's not my bike in the end of the day. Another reason it made me love the city so much more is because at a certain point I felt so stuck and like suffocated. It's not easy to leave the city. You don't always want to take the metro, but having the bike, it just made it so easy. Too easy to go out and try new places, meet new people, do new things, because when I'm biking there, it's literally half the fun. Number 10. People here are themselves. They're not afraid to be who they are, and they're really expressive, especially in the way that they dress. This is something that I love about the city because it's liberating for me not to be scared to do something new or discover who I am. Number 11. Learn how to layer. Winter is not about having the best coat. Like, you could have a jacket that's made for minus 40 degrees and you will still be cold if you're not layered properly. Like, I will always be cold if I'm not wearing 2 pairs of socks. But this doesn't just apply to winter. all year round, spring, summer, and fall. This is because the weather is super bipolar, like I mean hour to hour. When I used to go to class, this was one of my biggest struggles because I'd be leaving the house at 8 a.m. layered up, long sleeves, jeans, all of it, and I'd be walking home in the scorching sun, sweating, dying, suffocating. So it's good to layer because you can take clothes off. I eventually learned to always pack an extra shirt with me just in case. Number 12, try your best to travel around North America if you have the opportunity and if you're able to take advantage of that experience. For me personally, I'm not from this side of the world. I'm from Lebanon. I grew up in the UAE. Like, I'm so far away, and when I'm here usually for long periods of time. And in the beginning, I felt traveling here is not very accessible because it's so far, and it's obviously not like Europe or the Middle East where all the countries are next to each other. But that doesn't mean that there isn't so much to see. Like, Canada is huge. Traveling literally doesn't have to mean expensive. It doesn't have to mean airplane. There are so many ways to get around: by bus, by train, by rideshare, by carpool. You can go to Toronto, you can go to New York, you can go to Vermont. One of my best trips here was when I went to New York, and we went for a competition, and we actually road tripped. Like, we drove, and the drive was maybe 6-7 hours, but again, that was half the fun, like road tripping there. Oh my god, literally shut up. Number 13, in my last video I mentioned that living in Montreal is relatively really affordable, right? Wrong. Obviously a big part of that was COVID and everything we experienced after. It's really not the most affordable place to live. Like, there are a lot of things that are actually unnecessarily expensive. Groceries and basics, like, you'd just be shocked. If you're comparing the provinces, like, Montreal has one of the lowest average annual income rates, but has one of the highest tax rates. So do with this information as you please. Number 14, the best way to make friends here is to literally put yourself out there. Like, I feel it's not weird if someone came up to me and just started having a conversation and maybe we could eventually be friends. That's actually how I've made a lot of my friends here. I don't know, it's normal here. Like, if I were to do that in Abu Dhabi, like, just go up to someone and start a conversation, that would be so weird. That would be so weird. And last but not least, number 15, you are going to have a love-hate relationship with the city. I really can't say enough how grateful I am to have had the experience that I've had so far of living here. Like, my life is here, my friends are here, I grew here, I'm continuing to find myself every day here. Like, Montreal has really become a big place in my heart, and to a certain extent I do consider, you know, a home here. But there are a lot of challenges and difficulties that come with the experience. As I said before, I like to call them points of character development. Life here is not always easy breezy. Like, sometimes it's the city itself and just the way things are, and sometimes it's just the fact that, you know, I'm young and I'm alone and I'm away from everything that I know, and it's just hard to be alone sometimes. There are those two factors, but I've actually had this conversation a million times with all my friends, and I'm really glad to know that I'm not alone in the experience, and all of us have had this love-hate relationship with the city. But this year, a couple months ago on my birthday, I hit the 5-year mark of living here, and I took that time to really reflect, and I realized every hardship, every challenge, I literally wouldn't change any of it because I love who I am. And I think everything that's happened has just built me to be the person that I am, that has built the life that's around me. And yeah, I'm just grateful for all of it. I'm so happy to be doing this video for you guys because the time really passes like this. I still remember like yesterday, the feeling of arriving here and being excited and ready to build something new. Like, I could see my whole future in front of me. It's the best feeling. That's why I wanted to come out here, give you guys some advice, because I want you to make the most of it. I want you to come here prepared and to be happy and to live your life and really embrace everything that happens to you, the good and the bad. It's so cliche, I know, and it really sucks in the moment, but trust me, that's the one lesson that I constantly keep learning again and again and again, is everything happens the way it should happen. Okay, I'm starting to ramble. I hadn't done these Montreal videos for a while because the more that I started to feel like a local, the less that I did them, I guess. But I'm gonna try to do more Montreal videos for you guys and show you, you know, the city through my eyes and my mind. So thank you to everyone who tuned in today. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful, that maybe it excites you a little bit about your move here. If you have any questions or if there are any specific videos that you want to see, make sure to put them in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.